The summer break ends and it is time once again for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Hello everyone and welcome to the Red Bull Ring for round number 7 of the season. We immediately take you down to take a look at our starting grid. It is Matteo Di Paolo on pole position, Ashke Bora alongside in second, Pedro Claro is in third, and then it's Enzo Deligny in fourth place. Nikita Bedrin has the possession of P5 for Santilok Racing, and he finds himself next to Hayu Yamakoshi, who's in P6. Rashid Al-Daheri, a contender a few times this season, is in 7th, and then it's Ecumans in P8. Edu Robinson is in 9th, and Rino Franco, who's been a star in Italian F4, joins us in P10. We've got a lot of wild cards from F4 joining us. We'll run you through them all in a second. Joltez in 11th, and Tata Kato is in 12th place on the grid. In P13 it is Ricky Liu, and he is next to Michael Belov, who's in 14th, and then it's Nant Howard Biram-Bakti next to Dion Gowda, that's 15th and 16th on our grid, and then it's Anea Frey, another one of those wildcards who's with us, he's in 17th, next to Freddie Slater, all the way down in 18th position. We'll talk more about that in a second. Another wildcard is Alexander Powell. He's next to Giovanni Maschio, who's in 20th. Jack Beaton is in 21st, and Zanui Shi, who also is part of that group, who's joining us for the first time. Kanato Lee's in 23rd, and Tim Gayhards are in 24th position as well. And then it's Saka Al-Masheri next to Vesilaho. They are 25th and 26th. And it's Edward Borna next to Jin Nakamura. That is our order on the grid. The drivers set off for the formation lap in the commentary box. As you can see, my name is Omi, just me, for this one. Of course, the team covering, well, Wes and Tom as well. They're all over at the F1, sorting stuff out, where Tom actually at Biggin Hill. Wes, meanwhile, is, of course, finding himself right now recording the BBC commentaries that he does on the channel as well. So we've got cars making their way throughout there on the circuit. It is going to be an exciting and chaotic race, I am sure of it as well. Apologies if there was any form of lag at the start of this broadcast. It all should really be sorted now. That was just temporarily, so it should all be sorted and we should all be good now for the remainder of this broadcast. So it's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting. Cars, as I mentioned, on the grid making their way through. Looking forward to seeing what the F4 drivers who I was just mentioning, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be capable of doing. It's a great talented bunch which we've covered in Italian F4, most of them, and it leaves us excited, doesn't it? It leaves us very excited to see what they can muster, to see what they can do, because this is the step that these drivers will be taking next year. So it is very important to try and impress and get yourself a good team for next year as well. Always helpful, always very, very helpful if you can do that. Okay, we are making our way to the end of the formation lap. Of course, a short lap this is, as the drivers come to the end of it at slow speeds, and we're getting ready to go to racing speeds. A reminder to you, Matteo Di Paolo is contending for the championship with Freddie Slater after a major blow when it came to qualifying. Can he turn it around? We're going to have to see Slater make some overtakes around this Red Bull Ring circuit. But it's Freddie Slater leading the whole championship with a 16-point advantage to Matteo Di Paolo. This is the day where Matteo Di Paolo can turn that all round, where he can enter himself into championship contention for proper, because it's been looking like that Freddie Slater's been getting the gaps, and he could take control of this championship with ease. But Matteo Di Paolo is not going to let that happen. Today is his chance to fight. Today is his chance to make it happen. And possibly even the championship lead by the end of today. A simple way of putting it is if they finish how they start, Matteo Di Paolo is your championship leader heading into race 2 tomorrow. Nervy moments as the cars line themselves in position on the grid. We are going to wait for the green flag to fly at the back of the screen. It'll be Bora, who found himself, of course, contending in the last race, winning our most recent race. That was at Imola in race number 2. But here, in race number 13 of the season, it will be time to look at the 5 red lights which will come on screen. Green flag is being waved at the back. Here come the lights. Lights out! FRECA is underway at the Red Bull Ring. A good launch from Matteo Di Paolo should mean he keeps the lead into Niki Lauda curve for the first time. It's side by side in the battle for second place, and that is Claro having a look up against Bora. Claro runs wide. He's not the only one. We've had a Trident along with a Prema that has also gone off as well as we climb the hill towards turn number 3 for the first time. Bedouin's got a chance. He's making some progress from his grid spot as he's trying to make the move to the inside line. By the time they hit the anchors, it's going to be close. He's trying to get himself in there. Can they all navigate their way through? Turn number 3, no! Contact! And that's going to be a bit of a pile-up. We've got an RPM car that is involved in that one as well. We'll bring you up to date with all of the drivers that have stopped down there at that part of the circuit. We head into turn 4. Di Paolo, then Bora, then Bedouin did get up to 3rd, and Claro loses a place as Deligny moves himself up. Chaotic start for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and we will surely need a safety car because we've got Enea Frey who's off, along with Giovanni Maschio, and I think Edward Borna is also involved in that one as well. Chaotic start, exactly what we expected, and the drivers will continue to race until we get the confirmation of the safety car being out, which will be at this specific moment. My word, was that chaotic. We expected it for turn number 3 to be a pinch point. We had a big crash there in Formula 2 in both races. In both occasions, sorry. We had 2 incidents at that part of the circuit. We had one in the opening moments with Sami Megatunov going up, over and up. And then we had a big crash, including Henry Cordier spun at the part of the circuit. So it's already delivered us with some crazy moments in this championship so far. And that was tense stuff then. Di Paolo went for it. Matteo Di Paolo absolutely went for it there at the start. Not holding back one bit, but it meant that he kept the lead and came under no pressure at a part of the circuit where we usually do see quite a bit of pressure as well. Now the drivers, now this is not going to be ideal. Of course, you have the tractor and everything that's taken up this entire turn number 3 on the exit. So everyone's having to drive off the road. They're having to go through that extra runoff. So they're having to make their way through. That's not going to be good for their tyres at all. You, of course, don't want to be going down there. Getting the dirty stuff on the tyres as well. Right, let's take a look at a replay. We're looking further back then for some contact to come our way. Into the braking zone they went. And we are waiting for the pinch point. There we go. So it is a Prema that tags round one of the contenders. So a Prema into the side. Let's take a look at it again. Couldn't identify who that Prema was. Jack Beaton was somewhere involved. I can't confirm whether he was the car that actually did make contact though. But Jack Beaton was involved to a degree in that battle. Looking at our timing board, we had a few other drivers, including Edo Robinson, who finds himself down. So he could have been another driver who was amongst a bit of the chaos that took place at that specific moment. At this specific moment, though, the drivers now get a moment to breathe after the safety car is out. Around the Red Bull Ring, sunny Red Bull Ring, last year's race. It was a wet occasion. A crazy wet occasion with a race that went all the way to the final stages. So it'll be interesting to see whether that could possibly happen again. Not in terms of the rain, but in terms of a race that gets decided all the way at the end. We love battles that go down to the last lap. Imola was one of them, but in terms of following each other, of course, very, very difficult to find your way through and make an overtake. So it did mean that the drivers found themselves with a situation where even if they were close, even if they were within usual striking range at this type of circuit, there was no way through when it came to our previous round at Imola. Different story here, and different story at Monza as well, which will be our season finale later on this season. Matteo Di Paolo chasing what would be his 3rd victory in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine today. He's been on the podium 6 times this season as well. And this season combined with his previous effort 1 year ago in this championship. So the turn number 3 incident involving those cars. So right, okay, we've got an official confirmation of a list that has just come our way. So we've got car 99, that is Giovanni Maschio. We've got car number 9 that was involved as well. So car 9 involved in that moment. We also had, at the same time, we had car 45, Jack Beaton. We had car number 3, Saka Al-Masheri. And also car number 12 that found themselves in that spot of bother. Car number 9 would be Shi. Just to give you a bit of an update on that. And then car number 12 was Anea Frey, who we mentioned, the other driver who was involved in that incident. The Alpine safety car out there on the circuit. On our road to 100 this season in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Of course, we had the news. That came, we talked about it at Imola, but the news came in about the FRECA takeover that will be happening next season with Alpine parting ways. We already knew that, but we were wondering would possibly another manufacturer like Toyota or like someone else would come in. But we got the news that no, none of that. We're just going to be adding it properly to the ladder. You'd have FIA F4, Formula Regional, and then a trip to F3, and F2, and Formula 1, hopefully. Loads of our drivers have ended up in Formula 1 as well. We have taken plenty of drivers to that top step, and especially, of course, over to Formula 2, to Formula 3 as well. Lots of these drivers get that opportunity to go to those scenes if you can perform in this category. And then promotions are absolutely possible as well. Okay, the field is being backed up, and the reason why is that the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. We will continue racing very, very shortly. It's going to be very interesting to see how it is all going to play out as they make their way through out there on this circuit to the final few corners. Matteo Di Paolo puts his foot down, and we are green flag racing once again in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Across the line we go, and Matteo Di Paolo has once again got a good start. He has got a gap to mean that he won't be troubled into the first turn. What about on the exit? It's looking close. It could be vulnerable in a few moments' time, but it wasn't the best exit by Bora, and Bedrin's going to get a shot. Bedrin's going to get a shot at the moment to try and make the move. They slipstream their way down towards turn 3, a circuit which you can absolutely overtake, and I'm sure the drivers will be putting that to use. And first of all, Bedrin, down the inside he goes, trying to take second place. Was he able to get there as they this time try and cleanly navigate their way through the third corner on this racetrack? Looking back ahead, Bedrin did take the place, and it means the RSGP cars are now wheel to wheel down towards turn 4, and that is going to be Deligny, who is going to try and get past Bora at the moment, and Clara's going to be there for company as well. Clara's going to be there trying to put the pressure on at the moment. She's trying to go around the outside. That won't be a line that will work. Lap number 21. 21 minutes to go, rather, I should say, in this contest. But Bora finding himself behind his teammate out there at the moment. Talking about teammates, we have the RPM cars that are together. That is Ekimans and Reno Francot, who aren't separated by anything, and they are trying to chase down Evan Gilter, who's the car directly in front of them in the ART at the moment. First full lap of green flag racing complete. Down to Niki Lauda curve we go. And oh, Freddie Slater going for the widest line we've ever seen in FRECA at that part of the circuit. My word, trying to really maximise the exit. Took a very wide berth to give himself good momentum. Doesn't look like it's worked or done anything for him on that occasion. Bedrin slightly deep into the corner of turn 3 on the exit. Could mean that there is a chance for a possible move to come in. Is he going to be close enough? Not into the 4th turn. What about further back? Defensive shapes, defensive driving. All of that's happening, and that's Jin Nakamura, I think, who was trying to get past Ricky Liu. That is further back in the field at the moment, as they rotate their way by on this circuit into the final sector. Jin Nakamura was trying to get through. Dropping down our order, there's a moment for Francot. Rino Francot's had a moment. He's dropped down in a major way. So that is a disappointment for the Italian F4 race winner from earlier on this season. What a great win that was. Lots of moments where I'm seeing Freddie Slater run wide out of every single corner. I think he's really having a bit of a struggle out there on the circuit. Talking about a struggle, we've got a car heading backwards, very close over the line. I think that's Francot, who actually was the car who I was just mentioning, because you've got Lee all over the back of him. Kanato Lee, that is, trying to go on the move to try and see whether he can take another position. And we join that battle live now. Kanato Lee to the side, to the outside line. They should be arriving in our shot in a few moments' time, with that battle taking place. Looks like they've all made it work at the moment. So to give you an update on our order at the moment, it is Di Paolo, Bedrin and Deligny. Di Paolo able to stretch clear at the moment, so nothing Bedrin's able to do. Of course, the drivers have the push to pass system to assist them with some overtaking. They will absolutely want to try and complete by the end of the 18 minutes plus 1 lap. We have the same point system as Formula 1. So if you are to have a bad weekend and your rival gets both wins, 50 points it could be by the end of a weekend. So you've got to be careful if you're Freddie Slater. If today doesn't go well, if you aren't able to muster any points, you've got to fight back tomorrow immediately, or this could be a championship that swings hands in a way we wouldn't have expected. It's 16 points, as we mentioned, coming into today. Freddie Slater has had a few retirements this season. Of course, the reason why we are so close in this championship battle is due to the disqualification that Freddie Slater had at Imola for race number 2. And that meant that a podium spot faded away for him. Would have been quite disappointing. He's had a lot of time since. He's been racing in the GB3 Championship, of course. He did his final GB3 round of the season at Brands Hatch. Lots of our other drivers in this category as well have also done the same, including Hayu Yamakoshi, who's been over, Kanato Lee's been over, with Hillspeed. They're all teammates there, which I find quite great. That it makes my job in GB3 quite a lot easier to just be like, well, all of your Hillspeed drivers, yep, they're off to FRECA next time out as well. So yeah, some doing dual campaigns, this being their priority, this championship, and then they do GB3 when they can. And then we've also had, for example, Freddie Slater and some other drivers given opportunities to go out there and race in the FIA Formula 3 Championship. So the drivers have been going for it completely at the moment. They've all been trying their absolute best across the break that they've had, all racing in other categories. So it's all been keeping themselves nice and ready. We've also had a situation where the drivers have found themselves with a situation how, of course, you don't have anything to do in a summer break. So what lots have been getting on with, I'm sure, is meeting friends, meeting family, the people you don't actually get to see and hang out with during a time like this when racing is so busy, along with also training, because you have to keep yourself fit to end this season, to end this Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine season on a high, and give yourself the best shot of progressing over to the Formula 3 level. We've seen plenty of promotions from this level as we were just describing to you. The reason why you had a sudden raise of my voice as I was trying to talk you through that was Aldeheri dipping a tyre into the gravel. But just about able to continue on. As well. The Van Amersfoort drivers running together. Of course, Van Amersfoort with a great result in the Netherlands. If we go back to that result that they had, a great effort by them. Pedro Claro beating home his teammate Yamakoshi. And they took Van Amersfoort's win. They took a win for Van Amersfoort, of course. In their home race, it was the team's first win since 2023 at the Netherlands itself. 2023 Netherlands, of course, in this championship. Another thing that we remember from that race, that weekend, was the incredible first 2 laps of that race, where Freddie Slater went from 8th on the grid to the or Kimi Antonelli rather, went from 8th on the grid to the lead. I accidentally mentioned Freddie Slater because he's the driver who's producing unbelievable things himself in this category as well. So it is great to see that Kimi Antonelli able to go out there and take a victory in victories in Formula 2 and then go out there and get a podium in Formula 1. We will continue to support and cheer on all of our drivers who've driven at this level, a lot of which are currently over racing at that F1 level at the moment. As I mentioned, quite a lot of them out there. We are going to, of course, have 4 drivers from this current grid who are out there racing in Formula 1. The list includes Kimi Antonelli, Isaac Hadjar, Gabriel Bortoletto, and Franco Colapinto as well. And also, of course, we've had a scenario where we had the Rookie Championship go the way of Isaac Hadjar. In 2021, talents can be spotted quite early in their careers. And then Isaac Hadjar went on to attack in the Formula 3 Championship and have a title fight that unfortunately didn't go his way. It's always great to see these drivers continue on. 39 drivers in total currently get the opportunity to race on an F1 weekend, whether that is through Formula 1 itself, Formula 2, Formula 3, F1 Academy and the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. A few drivers choosing that route as well. But it's great that these drivers have options, and if it doesn't quite work out, they can go and race in the Porsche Super Cup. A great series, and of course you get to race on the F1 weekend. The Porsche Super Cup this weekend having its championship finale. I hope you can join us for that, as it currently has a 3-way title fight at the moment in that category. One of our drivers who finds themselves in that series is Cas Havercourt, and 2 other names you might recognise as well, who used to be part of our championship, are Pietro Deliguranti and Francesco Braschi. So it is a route that some have elected. F1 Academy's Maya Verg and Dorian Pan have also driven with us as well. So you get lots of drivers progressing and moving up to those levels as they make their way through out there on the circuit. We are currently seeing a race that is calmed down. It's not a classic at the moment, but stick with this one. It can always come alive. It can all come alive in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine any moment. And I think it's getting very close in the battle for second place. Jid Nakamura having one of the drives of his life, having started in last, is all the way up in 11th and is close to a points paying position. Incredible stuff by him. We go through turn 1. We look at this battle with our top 3 well clear of P4 That is Bora, and he's coming under threat from Claro. Looks like this race starting to heat up a bit because the drivers now realise, the drivers know, they've got to try and make some moves, or it could be too late. Does Pedro Claro send it? We knew what was coming. Down the inside goes Claro, and the Van Amersfoort driver makes the move at turn number 3 and takes the place. That is P4 at the moment. Does Bora get the chance to fight back? Is he going to be able to come to the outside line into turn 4? Looks like he will. Much more deeper on the brakes. Claro will send it later. Claro will have the place on the exit into turn number 5, and that battling has now brought Yamakoshi into play as well. So Van Amersfoort car has gone through, another one is in behind, and now trying to forge his own way through as well, and this is not looking good for RSGP's Ashke Bora, is it? Really looks like he's having to drive on the mirrors, and really looks like he's struggling. After one car's got through, another one's there. And then you've also got Prema's Rashid Al-Daheri in behind as well. Round the final corner. Down the start-finish straight. The two of them go. They will hit the brakes. They will get their foot to the floor. And we will continue our drag down towards turn number 3 on this circuit. Don't think there'll be a dive bomb opportunity just yet. Into the braking zone. Nothing as of yet there at that part of the circuit. Meanwhile, other battles we've got going on is Jin Nakamura trying to go from last on the grid to the points. He's out of the slipstream. He's to the inside line. And Jin Nakamura on the attack and then some at turn number 4. Car 11 turns P11 to P10. And that is points having started from last. What a drive from Jin Nakamura. Absolutely incredible stuff. Meanwhile, Slater looks to be struggling because Dion Gouda is on the charge. Dion Gouda, another one of those drivers doing a dual campaign with FRECA and GB3. And now he's really putting the pressure on Freddie Slater. Freddie Slater, not the Freddie Slater we're used to, is it? He's really having a struggle this weekend at the Red Bull Ring. I mean, I've been watching him. He's been running wide at every corner. Now, talking about running wide, Gouda's wide himself. Off the road. Very much a struggle. It's a day to forget. Let's hope it's not a weekend to forget, because could be a major blow to his championship ambitions. The critical thing with Matteo Di Paolo this season is that he's not had a worse result than P6. He got a penalty in Paul Ricard, race number 2, but still, that was P6 for him. So the critical thing with Matteo Di Paolo is he's been 6th or higher in every race this season, but Freddie Slater's had 2 retirements. He's had a disqualification as well, and he's on his way to finish today. But if it's outside the points, it's no use. It's still 0 points being added to his tally, and that is what is keeping Matteo Di Paolo in this championship. He's being consistent, while Slater is having the highest of highs, but can have some lows thrown in there, scattered across our 2025 campaign. Freddie Slater now putting all attention on this championship to end it on a high. There was a chance that he could have gone over to Monza to compete in the GB3 championship, but he's elected not to, and he's putting all his focus, all of his attention in this. Another driver doing a similar thing is Dorian Pan. She was supposed to be racing with us this weekend because there's no F1 Academy or no other clash that she is a part of. But she's done a similar thing where, just so she can focus on the remaining 2 F1 Academy rounds, she's put this to the side so she can go all in with the F1 Academy Championship. So we are getting into a scenario where dual campaigns, when you are contending for a title in your priority main series, it's becoming a bit of a distraction for some drivers, going between and, you know, doing extra work, doing extra sim time for different categories, where some drivers at the business end of this season just want to go all in with their main championship. Nikita Bedrin and Enzo Deligny This is their main championship. Bedrin, of course, had a round. 4th place he got in the feature race down under in Melbourne. A wet feature race it was to start the Formula 3 season. So Nikita Bedrin, of course, a race winner in Formula 3, is a great asset. A great asset to his team. It's not worked out for him. Overall in Formula 3, not able to get a seat there, but my word, had there not been any FRECA clashes where he'd already signed the contract, it would have been nice to see what he could have done with that F3 car. I think that he would have probably got quite a few wins incoming. Hopefully we do get to see Nikita Bedrin back at that level as they slide, absolutely send it into turn 1 and slide their way through on the exit. Fantastic stuff as the top 3 sprint down towards turn number 4 around this venue. Meanwhile, we've got a battle further back. Jin Nakamura on the charge again, trying to take another spot. By the time he gets on the brakes, wild, brilliant Jin Nakamura on the charge. And this is absolutely spectacular to watch. Okay, we've had quite a few track limits come through, as you can see. So Nikita Bedrin has been warned. He has to be careful. He's one of those drivers. Has to be careful of track limits. I mean, at this rate, Deligny's very close to overtaking on the circuit anyway. What a race by Jin Nakamura, though. That is wild stuff. He's fought his way through from last to the points in a 30-minute race, which has no pit stops, which has only had 1 safety car interruption. The start would have been overtaking like 10 cars or something, probably. My word. Brilliant. Extraordinary stuff. If anyone has any sort of footage of that, my word, I want to see. Bit of debris on the... it's at that part of the circuit where the MotoGP chicane is. So I wonder whether what that is. Bit of smoke from the back of Bedrin's car. Having to go defensive for the first proper time. Placing the car in the middle. What traction does it give? Enzo Deligny, who's going to try and get the power down. Big opportunity he could have to take this position. Bedrin defends. You're allowed to make 1 move. He comes over. Gets very close to the side of the RSGP driver, who's trying to fight her way by around the outside. Cannot do it at the moment. Next up, turn number 6 coming up. A fast turn number 6. Deligny's forced off the road, and Bedrin maintains that place, and all of this fighting is confirming that Matteo Di Paolo is on his way to win with 2 minutes to go. Incredible stuff. As they were fighting this, as they fight their way through. What a race this is turning out to be. And you are really watching Jin Nakamura fight his way into the points as well. Absolutely incredible. It's a race that has had it all. We make our way onto another lap. Here we go. It's going to be close. There's going to be an opportunity. If you've got any push to pass left, you're going to be using it if you're Enzo Deligny. Has a look round the outside. Sells the dummy. Into turn 3 in this contact. They're both off the road. Incredible stuff. Bedrin rejoins in an aggressive fashion. So does Deligny. They both just get their car straight back onto the circuit. Now they're fighting. It was contact down at turn 3. Bedrin won't be happy with that. Into turn 4 we go. If it wasn't contact, it was very close to contact. They both went off. Deligny went there all out of shape because he was trying to sell the dummy and make the move. Trying to make a late dart. My word, was that aggressive. Down at that part of the circuit. That is where it's all wild. That is where it's all on the line. We rotate our way through. Into the final 2 corners. Clock is ticking down. We are going to head on to what will be the penultimate lap of the race, because we'll get over the line with time remaining on the clock. And there we go. We come over the line and we go on to the penultimate tour of the race. Jin Nakamura's up to 8th. He's got past Giltaire while this battle has been going on. Jin Nakamura with one of the drives of his life. Incredible scenes at the Red Bull Ring. My word, I can see him. I can see him in the shot with the leaders. What a race he has had. As meanwhile, also it has been a very great drive, a very successful drive that has come in from the driver of Matteo Di Paolo on his way to the win. Next time by, or next lap rather, in the Trident car. It'll have to be audacious. It'll have to be all in for Enzo Dellini if he is to take the win, if he is to steal the win away. But that was dramatic. That was dramatic stuff. Down at the third turn of the racetrack, it meant the battle went on between them all. As we head on to the final lap of the race in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Matteo Di Paolo is on his way to win, but who will be second and who will be third? It'll probably be Bedrin and Dellini unless there's contact, but in which order will it be? Good exit for Dellini. Bedrin knows he has to break the toe. If you've got any push to pass left, you are now using it at this moment to try and fight your way by. Dellini's closing in. Once again, a little dart into the braking zone. He really gets onto the back of Bedrin, and now he's got a chance here on the final lap of the race to take second place away. He will tuck in the slipstream. He'll have to go on the defensive will Bedrin. Dellini goes to the outside line. They've been close to contact already in this race. Dellini cannot fight by at turn 4. What about on the exit into turn 5? A compromised line for Bedrin. Dellini's got a chance. Di Paolo's on his way to the win. Is Dellini going to go all in? He can't at the moment, and Bedrin has got the answer to the questions that Dellini threw to him across this race. We will make our way down towards the final two corners, turn number 9 and turn number 10, the Red Bull Mobile, which will be meted by Matteo Di Paolo first. The Trident driver is on his way to take the championship lead. Matteo Di Paolo wins for the third time in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. It is a 7th podium for him as well in the category, and Bedrin will get his way to second. Dellini will get his way to third. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. My word, what a race it was. I don't even know what to say. My speech just disappeared. Apologies for that. My voice just completely disappeared as he came across the line. It's like it stopped. It's like it's mechanical. It's like it just stopped completely. Mid-sentence. Apologies. Matteo Di Paolo is now 9 points ahead of Freddie Slater in the championship as well. Great scenes. Incredible scenes. But it is going to be 6th podium of the season for him. Fantastic. This is what we love about the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Fantastic racing. A very good defence on Bedrin. Stewards may have a different say on it. We'll see what they have to say later on in regards to that defence. Dellini, he'll be angry with some stuff. The only thing I can consider is that contact that they had at turn 3. But that contact, which I am considering, that would be Dellini's fault anyway, unless the stewards spot any moving under braking. So I don't really see the podium spots changing in terms of Bedrin getting any issues. It's a very big shame for Dellini, because he was on his way, if you remember, in Budapest to win. But then he dropped down to 3rd, and then he got disqualified later. Without that, had he got the 25 points there, Enzo Dellini would be a championship contender this season. And that's what you think at the end of the season. Everything that cost you, how it could have gone just that little bit better. Matteo Di Paolo couldn't have gone better for him today. A dominant drive, taking the win. We have Nikita Bedrin, who finished in second. Then it was Delaney. And then Calero, Bora, Yamakoshi, Aldahari, Nakamura, Gilter. Nakamura going all the way from last on the grid to 8th. A great result for him as well. And then it was Franco, Liu, Lee, Robinson, Maschio, Gerhards, Powell on debut, Beaton, Almasheri, Vesilaho, Borna, Frey, and Shi. Fantastic scenes as they make their way through out there on the circuit. Absolutely mega. Absolutely mega race. In FRECA, that was the drivers now in Parc Ferme. We'll be discussing all about that race with the team, the personnel, everyone down there at the moment. And we will put all attention, put full focus on race number 2 tomorrow. At the Red Bull Ring circuit. It will be coming up exactly at the same time as Formula 1. So whether you choose to watch it later on or have it alongside, make sure you join us. I mean, if you watch the Formula 1, you can have my commentary on the second on your phone or something, just keeping you updated with this race. So you've got a lot of options as well. Another option is come and join is sync up our stream along with the FRECA stream after the fact, and then you can have my commentary with your TV pictures as well. So you've got plenty of options of consuming everything. Start was very interesting. We had a 3-car pile-up, 5-car crash in total it was. And then it was a race where the drivers pushed the limits. We had a brilliant battle between Delaney and Bedrin. They both went off at turn 3. They both rejoined the road and continued to scrap all the way till the end. But there would be no scrap for the win. That was decided ever since he got the great start of the line. It was Matteo Di Paolo winning and Jin Nakamura. Shout out to him, of course, in this highlights little voiceover thingy about him going from last on the grid to points and PA. One of the drives of his life. Please, if anyone has any video content of it, please send it over to FRECA themselves so they can post that on the social media, because that's the type of content that is exactly what you want. Apologies about the live timings. I know they've now changed themselves up and don't look I know they don't look pretty one bit. The live timings rather, because the race is finished, so everything just switches around, so it's slightly hard to manage, but yes, nothing we can do unfortunately. Waiting for the drivers to come onto the podium. We make our way out onto the circuit with some of the other racing that's coming up. They will sprint onto the podium. Let's see if they can do it as fast as the driving was. Delaney getting himself in position. So does Bedrin. And so does our race winner, Matteo Di Paolo. What a great job. What a great drive. Trident's representative is there as well. And Ecumans also is our rookie race winner. Congratulations to him as well. And he will be absolutely delighted with that one. I'm sure that's a first rookie win for Ecumans as well. So a huge congratulations to him on that great result that he had. And the trophies are presented over to the drivers at the moment. And it is going to be 3rd place, 2nd place, and then finally to our race winner, Matteo Di Paolo, lifting the trophy high as our race winner at the Red Bull Ring. And Trident themselves getting some great trophies as well to add to their illustrious cabinet, I'm sure it is. And Ecumen's getting a rookie winner trophy as well. Congratulations to him. Bit of conversation, and here's the national anthem.
So there we have it.
Indeed, Jordan Morgan. There we have it, indeed. And yes, you absolutely love hearing the national anthem. We'll hear it, of course. Well, maybe. Who knows? If Ferrari win in Formula 1, if any of those drivers in Formula 2, Formula 3, or Porsche Super Cup maybe even win as well, we might get it on the weekend. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. And we'll see how it all happens as well. As we make our way through. And the celebrations will continue on the podium. A happy podium and a great podium as well. Okay, well that is it. Well that is it. My thanks to everyone on site as well for that race, for providing us these pictures. We will be back tomorrow for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. We hope to see you then. Goodbye.